Mama Braga, força do coração, Mama Braga. You secret for my love. Dance under the sun, feel the earth below, Mama Braga, Mama Braga.
Hi, it's Melanie for Mama Brega Unfiltered. And today we welcome someone who we are familiar with on Mama Brega. He is a storyteller whose voice is rooted in heritage, identity, and heart. Devin has a gift for turning lived experience into powerful narrative, and his journey continues to inspire readers to embrace where they come from and who they're becoming. With a passion for preserving history, Devin invites us into a world where tradition and self-discovery intertwine. English is not my first language. We're thrilled to dive into the next chapter of his creative and cultural evolution. Devin, welcome back to Mama Brega Unfiltered.
Hi, good to
Hello.
be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for accepting our invite.
Oh, I'm very graciously accept. I'm humbled to be here, and it's great to be back in the Mama Brega universe.
Atmosphere? Yeah.
Atmosphere, okay.
Or
yeah.
universe. Yes, I like that better because that's like superhero worlds. Yes,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. And just to be back in this realm and in your presence and all your audience. Hey, everybody. Glad to be back.
Wonderful. How have you been doing?
I've been good, just keeping busy. My Instagram says exactly the way I live. I write when elicited. So a lot of other writers will do they make it a routine and they make a real precedent on carving out dedicated time to write. Whereas me, it's kind of just whenever I'm inspired, that's when I write. And inspiration does come often. And that's when I'll use my word processing on my phone or on the computer or something. And I'm just digging into this idea, this concept. It's usually when a spark, something connects, but I don't make dedicated time. So it's usually just when something inspires me to cover something or a thought,
Yeah, but I like that because that kind of has a deeper value to it too.
Indeed. Yeah.
I love that. So in our last interview on the blog, so it wasn't a video format, it was written, we explored your personal journey of reconnecting with your cultural heritage through storytelling. You reflected on how writing became a powerful tool for understanding your identity, honoring your family's history, and embracing the traditions that shaped you. Since then, because it's been a while, have you seen further growth to your understanding and connection to your Portuguese culture?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a constant journey. As much as you feel like you've written a certain piece or time in history, you covered an era, or you really broke down this, this sentiment that's been carried over. There's always something else that emerges, So once you feel like you've climbed the pinnacle and okay, I could see from here. Now I have a good outlook. Now I understand things. There's another peak to climb. And you say, whoa, okay, I got to go there. I got to see what's up there, right? So that's what I equate this journey to. It's just, this started 6-7 years ago of just writing about my family history and learning, acquiring that knowledge to learn about myself in turn, which I've shared that journey with readers and wider audiences. But as I progress and move along this, it's deeper sentiments of connection to the homeland, connection to my parents and my grandparents' immigration stories, and everything that led to today. So, for example, there will be characteristics, certain things, maybe behaviors that you realize, maybe you don't realize you act in a certain way or you react to something. And then when you really look back, take a step back and you look in the mirror and you say, wait, why do I react like that? And when you peel back the layers, you uncover sometimes, at least, in my journey, there's been some instances where this happened where you peel back those layers and you realize, you know what, that thought or that reaction to certain instances comes from my upbringing. Maybe mom taught me something to be really superstitious about certain things that now
Mhm.
as an adult I look back, I'm like, wait, that's really unreasonable. Why am I acting like that?
Yeah.
So little pieces like that. And as I progress and move along the journey, it's really adding to a deeper sense of self, and in turn building a stronger connection to that upbringing, because I know where it came from, I know what that's about, and I can circumvent some of those things. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
I know those triggers, or I know that's going to be a reaction. Maybe let's not do that.
So your growth never ends. It just keeps going.
Of course, growth never
Yeah,
ends.
of course,
it's
definitely.
it's a constant journey,
Mhm.
and like I said, every time you feel like you've conquered something, that's great. Give yourself your flowers, but don't feel complacent like it's done now, because there's always more if you're looking
Mhm.
for it, and
Yes.
and you should be looking for it.
Yeah, for sure. For those who may not know, where exactly do your family roots come from?
Yeah, so my family's Azorean, so 100% San Miguel. My mother's side is from the city center, next to Ponta Delgada. My mother grew up in San Roque, as well as,
Oh, there's a famous soccer player from there.
yes, Mr.
Oh,
Paletta.
I know because my husband's grandma's from there.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Yeah,
the only reason
Paletta.
why I know.
Number one. Before
Yes,
Ronaldo, we had Paletta. He was the guy.
yes. The connection. See?
Yeah. And then on my father's side, it's kind of split. Like, my grandparents did situate themselves in Ponta Delgada. But my paternal grandmother was from Fayal de Terra on the east
Mhm.
side, and my grandfather was on the westernmost point in Ginech. But they met in Ponta
Okay.
Delgado, and that's where the story kind of started.
It's the main
Um,
city.
yeah, it's the main city, but our
Mhm.
roots, and we've done like ancestry, DNA, and everything, and I've done like the whole genealogy thing. This goes back centuries. So I still haven't
Oh,
figured
wow.
out when exactly my ancestors immigrated to the island. But we're talking like centuries of being inhabitants in these villages until all of a sudden they left Ponta Delgado and just came to Canada. But this carried for many, many years on those islands. Simple island people.
So I'm gonna go off script a little bit here. Well, it's not scripted, but I always have a plan in mind. But did you ever find out why Canada? Like from all the countries they could have immigrated to, why Canada? What was special about Canada?
Well, my grandfather was the first to make the move. He came in 1957, and it was simply a work opportunity. So he was more or less my age, like mid to late 30s, which was an abrupt change for a man of that age at that time when they're looking for young laborers.
Mm-hmm.
But he found an opportunity to work the railroads. Canada opened up their doors to Azorean migrants,
Mm-hmm.
and he chewed into that opportunity. And he came over, did his 1 year contract, and then called the rest of the family over 3 years later. Took him a while. For my mother, oh, and all that to say, my father was the Canadian born of that family. So he's the
Oh,
baby.
okay.
He's the Canadian golden child
Oh,
of the family.
yeah.
But he was very much raised Portuguese, like in an immigrant household. Like my grandparents never learned English. Like just Azorians in Canada. That's pretty much the way of life they carried.
Yeah.
My mother, she came in the 80s, and it was more or less the same. She heard about this castle in the sky, about North America and jobs out there, and she already had family members already situated out here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when she, took a shot in the dark, came to Canada, lived with her cousin, um, and then met my father in the same town, and then that's where their love story started.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
essentially, it's for work. They found an opportunity, maybe word of mouth. They hear like success stories, and that's what influenced them to come here in Canada.
Yeah.
Probably could have been the States in a different era or a different time, but
Or a
um,
better climate.
or better climate, yeah. But
Right?
yeah, if they went to like California or something, or Florida or something, but I don't know if I would exist today if that happened.
Oh, then it's good they didn't.
See, when I did the genealogy thing, that was one of the biggest challenges, was like when you prompt your elders, your parents,
Mm-hmm.
grandparents, aunts, uncles with like very scripted questions of like where you're trying to go, what you're trying to uncover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't, the answers don't pop out to them. It's kind of like forgotten, buried histories, maybe stuff
Yeah.
they kind of just like ran away from. Um, so I found a lot of difficulty with that approach. Whereas I would always be very attentive at like family gatherings, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, because that's when the stories would come out organically. Couple
Oh,
drinks, they'd have
wow.
dinner, and then they start
Yeah.
talking about this, that, and the other. And it's like you pick up details, you know? And I did that for many years, like towards writing my first book. That's how a lot of the stories were kind of uncovered. It was just those organic conversations. And then once I had those leads, then I could inquire a little bit more, you know, with more direct questions.
Yeah.
But when you go to them with like very vague questions, you may get an idea like, why did you come here? Well, it's, I don't know. At least for my family, it was like very short-winded answers, like
Oh no,
for
that's
work.
why. Like
What else? It was like,
I'm
oh my god.
so glad that we're recording this because I'm taking your advice and I'm going to start paying attention more at these gatherings because yeah, stories slip where you hear things and you're like, what? What was that? Did that happen? And then okay, that's how I'm gonna do. Because when I've asked, my parents have no filter, so they'll just say whatever's on their mind, and it never works out. Like it's just, and it's like, well, there's more to that. No, no, that's all I remember. And it's, but if there's a little bit of wine and it's fun gathering, then more information comes out. So I'm gonna do that next event.
Totally.
I don't know when that's gonna happen, but the next
Yeah.
event I'm gonna do that.
Next dinner, you're gonna have a notepad. You're gonna be scribbling down this. What did he say?
Yeah, I have a notepad at my phone, so my parents will think I'm on social media, but I'll be like writing notes. I know now. I know Devin's trick. I'm gonna do that next time. So
Do
I
it.
truly admire your love for the Portuguese culture. This is evident in many things you do, and of course, it's reflected on your social media. If everyone should be following you, and I will have the hashtag at the end, or the handle. Why is this so important to you at this stage of your life?
Like I said, it's that journey of self-discovery. It's finding a deeper connection to somewhere you belong. And as I got older, you know, in high school, elementary, like you have your friend groups, and growing up in Toronto, it's very multicultural, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and some of those cultural pieces are kind of like, I don't want to say disregarded, but they're overlooked, you know, especially in a multicultural setting. And you know, as time moves on, you lose connection with certain individuals, and what life moves on, right?
Yeah.
Um, for me, it was finding that sense of like belonging, and I found myself like in my mid 20s questioning, what tribe do I belong to? Where do I belong? Because if this is
Mm-hmm.
like I'm just aimlessly like, what is there for me out there? Where can I feel that sense of home, feel that connection, and help me grow as a person?
Yeah.
And things came full circle. It was like being Portuguese growing up was one of those things that was like I would shy away from. Where, you know, twofold as an adult, that was something I embraced and really like leaned into. And that's where I found that connection. And it's like I always belonged to this tribe. It's like, why did I disregard it? You know, it was always there. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was building that connection, reattaching to what was always there, and rediscovering and discovering new things. But building that connection to things that I shied away from, or new aspects that, you know, I never realized as a young kid. And for me, like I said, it's just that journey, that sense of self, and feeling like you belong somewhere in a community where you can foster growth, we can support each other,
Mm-hmm.
and that connection to your family. You know, it's like mom still speaks. Mom is still very much connected to the homeland, as well as like the rest of the family. But I'm at a stage in my life now where mom still speaks Portuguese, Mom's very well connected to back home relatives. She watches Portuguese media. She listens to radio, all that stuff. Whereas for me, it's a little more casual. So I'm at a point in my life where mom speaks in Portuguese and I
Mm-hmm.
answer in English. And I find there's a lot of like millennials and, that can relate with that. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
this, like, we have this shyness of like being Portuguese, or sort of like shielding ourselves from like judgment, maybe the way we speak, the way we enunciate words is going
Yes.
to get torn up. And it's like,
Yes. That's me. I can
same.
speak Portuguese very well. But to me, my Portuguese is very well for my parents because I've only spoke Portuguese with them. That was the first language I learned. It was only when I went to kindergarten is when I was learning English. So everyone's like, "Oh, you should talk more Portuguese," but I'm so self-conscious of the way I speak it that maybe someone's going to make fun of me of my my accent or my dialect because it's not perfect because my parents are from São Miguel, from a
Mm-hmm.
little village. So even in São Miguel, Portuguese is spoken very differently between all the villages because I find there's different dialects like everywhere you go. So that's why I stay away from it. But maybe I should embrace, what you're trying to say here, like not be afraid and just kind of like speak.
Yeah, lean into it. Don't be shy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I equate it to like it's a taste of our own medicine, at least for me. Because like when mom was raising us and she had broken English, we would laugh at the way she spoke, and we would tear it
Yeah.
up. Where it's like now it's like we don't like that. Where it's like that was mom's life for like how many years? We
Yeah.
still do it. It's like, and we don't like a bit of criticism the way we speak like for me at least it's my second language, so I mean I should be totally comfortable with like learning and growing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's that sense of like I don't say shame, it's like shyness, it's awkwardness, we're scared to be wrong, you know and that's part of it. It's like you need to be wrong to grow. And when you speak with different, like you said, like different dialects, it could be
Mm-hmm.
could be the same island, it could be a different island. Um, for example, I had friends from Madeira here for a couple weeks, and the way I speak to them sounds funny,
Yeah.
and I would shy away from. Okay, let's meet in the middle. Let's go to English again, right?
Yeah.
But those are those moments that I'm like, wait, no, I shouldn't be scared. Let me try. It's just it takes a little longer to construct sentences, because at least for me, the way I think is in English. So to sort of
Mm-hmm.
translate that in my head and spit it out in Portuguese, it just comes out like broken Portuguese, totally. But how
Yeah.
else am I going to learn? You gotta lean into it, right? So, all that to say, it's really embarrassing, but
I'm
I
sure you
try.
sound great. I'm sure it's fine.
I try. It's
Do
the
you do
effort.
you want to do the rest of the interview in Portuguese then? No, no,
Oh
I'm just
God,
kidding.
no,
I'm
God,
just
no.
kidding.
I've
Just
done
kidding.
I've done a few in Portuguese, like promoting my book and some of my writing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And God, those were embarrassing.
Oh my God.
But hey, you got to try, man. Listen,
Yeah, you have to.
I'm not going to be scared to do it.
Yeah. How else are you going to grow, right?
Yeah, totally.
So you have been part of many great projects, especially in promoting your heritage. Is there one in particular that's been your favorite to do and why?
Um, just like in general, projects that I've been involved in.
That maybe in any of your writing or just promoting the Portuguese heritage that you've done.
Yeah.
You've done a lot, and you're very young, and you've done a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, there's been so aside from my writing efforts and promoting heritage and culture and sharing my journey of self-discovery, I also like to volunteer, and I'll find efforts or projects that I find interesting, and I'll get involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been involved with the Portuguese Festival in Mississauga. I've been involved with like a federation of business professionals for Portuguese entrepreneurs and stuff. Um, I've been involved in I'm still involved actually, um, there is a project to build a Portuguese-Azorean in Brampton.
Oh, yes, I saw that. You're part of that.
I'm part of that. I'm on the
Oh, that's
communications team.
exciting.
So that one hits home because that's like, that's the homeland. That's exactly like when we go to
Yeah.
San Miguel, you go see the Portuguese-Azorean and then you go
Yeah.
visit San Crist, right? So
Yeah.
that one's pretty important to me.
Oh,
But
that's good. So I have an inside person. When is that
yeah.
coming out soon or launching or?
Yeah, so construction has begun. So
Mhm.
they are repurposing Azores Park in Brampton for this. So they excavated the park and construction has begun this month. So it's
Oh,
aiming
wow.
for completion this year.
Oh,
So
wow. Look at
yeah,
that. That's exciting.
yeah. So that's a pretty cool one. But the one that really I feel a deep connection to and I'm really proud of is myself and other writers of Portuguese descent, Portuguese Canadian descent.
Mhm.
We've banded together and we've made a conscious effort to promote heritage, culture, and literature and arts of
Oh, nice.
Portuguese, of the diaspora, you know? So
Mhm.
this isn't just contained to literature. We have a little like arts collective. We have artists, we have poets, spoken word artists, and we have been hosting these art gatherings. So we do have one coming up in May. I'm not sure if this is probably out already by then, but we call it Tertulia, and it's a night of gathering, networking, and sharing arts.
Mhm.
And honestly, that's kind of been it's really speaks to my soul, and connecting with these other writers that inspire me. Because when I started sharing my writing, my biggest barrier was like, I don't want to sound like an idiot. I want to share quality stuff with people that's going to resonate with people.
Mhm.
And I wanted to speak or narrate these stories like some of these authors that I'm collaborating with now inspired me to do. Like I would read some of their stuff, like, wow, I wish I had a story like this for my family or for this certain life event or
Mhm.
something. But now to be like all at the table and coordinating this together and opening it up, not just to us. This isn't gatekeeping. We're not closing the doors. This isn't just for us. We're opening it up to other artists as well. And when we hosted it last year, had like interesting people come out. Like we had like a psychic medium come and perform, and she was like, um, her act included like singing, so it was like a bit of Broadway, a bit of psychic. Like it was
Oh,
such
wow.
it was such an interesting act, and it's like
Yeah.
wow, like we brought that out. Like we drew her to come and share her art with everybody. We had
Yeah.
poets, we had writers, we had a caricature artist, and it was really cool. So that is really like fueling my fire. And as we host more events and grow and sort of tie down exactly what this is as like a group, all
Mhm.
of it is just to promote Portuguese artists. Um,
Oh, that's wonderful.
and as it's growing, yeah, it's been really exciting to see who's coming out of the woodwork, who's growing,
Mhm.
who's been there that we didn't know. You know, I've discovered writers I wasn't familiar with this as well. But it's all for the same purpose to share
Yeah.
that Portuguese heritage, and we're kind of doing all the same thing. It's just why not band together and we're stronger in numbers rather than being
Yeah.
our own silos, you know?
Yeah. Uplifting each other. That's fantastic. In the events that you've done so far, like age-wise, is it around, are there different age groups? Like you're looking from young to, much older?
It's open to everybody, and it's not just Luso diasporic artists. Our group is open to anybody and everybody. But age wise, there's no limit. I'll say there's no bracket. But we have seen, I don't want to say older adults, probably like my age and up, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
little younger. So maybe like mid to late 20s and up. That's what we've seen. But if we got
Okay.
more, listen, it's open to anybody. If you have an
Yeah.
art, you have a talent, you want an audience, you want to just try out a reading or do a little act, do a bit. I would love to see like a stand-up comedian show up or something. That would be really cool.
Oh, we
Um,
know so many.
I know, right? So it's just got to like encourage them and get them out. But
Yeah.
um, the interesting thing is the audience, and it's sort of like again, this is still very new. But the audience is an interesting thing because some people will come out for a certain aspect of the night, whereas others don't come out for certain thing. And some of these, it's open mic, right? So some of the acts, like I said, the psychic medium singer, that was kind of like out of left field. Like nobody was expecting that. But the audience, it's shaping as we are shaping as like an artist collective. It's interesting to see where the audience is going as well, because you got to be open to hearing different acts and different artistries, you know. And yeah, I'm curious to see who comes out this time around and in the future, you know, like
And the next one is in May, you said?
yes, May 15, Friday, May 15 at Casa del Montejo, 7 p.m.
Where is that? In Toronto, right?
It's in Toronto. Yeah. The nearest intersection is DuPont and Dufferin.
Oh, I know that area very well. It's changed a lot over the years, though. So we talked a little bit about some projects that you've done and some new ones, but there's something else that you just released, a new self-published book.
Yeah. So
we need to talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. So it is called the Scars Saudade Wrote, correct?
Yeah, I have a copy right here.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. So what is the story about? I guess the plot. What inspired you to write it? And where can people buy it?
Yeah.
Those are the three important parts.
Indeed. So, like you said, this is the Scars Saudade Wrote. It's an anthology. So it's a collection of Portuguese heritage stories of myself and family members. And it's all collectively, it forms a kaleidoscope, or I'll say a mosaic of everything that's contributed to my upbringing. So the theme throughout this is like my longing and searching for that belonging, like we've touched on, looking for that tribe, or where's my place in this life I'm living, and where's this going, you know? All that intertwined with the stories that predate my existence and how they've sort of contributed to this understanding that I've developed, you know? So pieces of like the immigration, my mother's immigration, my grandparents, stories of my aunts and uncles in Toronto as immigrant children, navigating this new world. Like we talked about those Thanksgiving dinner conversations. There's one conversation that inspired a chapter in here, actually two, but about my uncle. My uncle was kind of an unruly character, and he was kind of a bad boy, you know. But the family shielded us from some of these stories. Maybe, you know, I guess all in all, they might have negative connotations, you know, but they were part of who he was. And those scenarios impacted everybody around him. So it all contributed to everyone's understanding of themselves and then their children, me, right? But there was one story that was talked about at the table, and it was about Uncle Manny getting arrested. It's like, oh, I never heard that one. Uncle Manny got arrested in Toronto. Juicy, right? Again, that was an example of like me taking notes, listening to everybody and telling, okay, and sort of building around that, asking a few questions, but building a narrative around that night and why did Uncle Manny do what he did to get arrested, and how it impacted everyone around him that evening as well. So that's one of the chapters, and just things like that I've uncovered, like I said, that contribute to my understanding of family and myself, as well as there's really personal, introspective stories in there about myself and upbringing as well. And like I said, it's all the Scars that Saudade Wrote. These aren't like happy-go-lucky stories. These are challenging times, real stories of real life, and how they all contributed to the man, me. But in this project, I guess, I don't know if I named him actually, but it is essentially an extension of myself. So Scars Saudade Wrote. It's available on Amazon Kindle. You could find it, just simply search Scars Saudade Wrote. Or you can check out my website, of course, lusoluni.ca. You'll find the links there, as well as other things that I publish and share on the website as well there too. But Amazon, that's where you would find it, as well as my other books.
Yes. And if you have Amazon Prime, it's free delivery.
Free delivery, indeed.
Can't go wrong.
And if you have, I think it's the Amazon Unlimited, or I forget the name they give for it, but Kindle Unlimited. If you have that membership, you could read whatever you want. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that. So you touched upon your website, which you also share personal stories.
Mm-hmm.
And before, I put questions together for our interview today, I did say, are there any topics that we can't touch upon? You said, nope, you're an open book. So I appreciate that, because a topic that we're going to bring up is something very personal to you. A lot of people don't talk about it because there's so much, it's like a taboo topic. And I don't know why, because a lot of people go through it. And you wrote a piece about it, about infertility.
No, thank you for that. Yeah, like you said it, man. A Portuguese man opening himself to vulnerable topics like that, and being a man, that's unheard of, right? In this journey, and actually, that is an overarching theme in this book as well. That yearning, that saudade, and for Ashley and I, Ashley's my wife. We've been married over a decade. And that's been a challenge that we've been struggling with for quite a while now. And it's the struggle of growing our family. And we've always had this idea of like where we would be in a certain time of life, and sort of working towards that. And then when the time came, it wasn't happening. Lo and behold, we sought infertility treatment. We've done IVF, we've done IUI, and it's still challenging. We haven't found that success yet, and we do have that yearning of like growing a family and what that's going to look like, or how we even get there. So we're still on that journey. But for me, writing is part of how I compartmentalize and make sense of these emotions. So yes, I did write a few pieces on infertility. One was around, it was submitted to a health magazine and they accepted it. And what they told me when they published it was they love to hear the male perspective because they never get it. And this is like a taboo thing. Men don't talk about it. It's kind of just like you said, especially being Portuguese. It's like, shh, we don't talk about that. Don't publicize it. Don't tell anybody. And for the longest time, that was our approach. And you know what? That hurt. That was like even harder. And in the grand scheme of things, when I look back, that time was much harder than just being open about it. And it's not like we're screaming from the rooftops here, like, but going through those challenges and being like a closed door, it adds to the difficulty of that time, And yes, you get questions. People are like, "Oh, when's the bundle of joy coming?" Or you get these comments, or like, "When's the family planning coming?"
Oh my God, all the time, every
all
day,
the time.
all day.
which is a little insensitive, but that's fine. It happens, especially in a Portuguese gathering. That's going to happen. But what makes it even harder is when you're like tight-lipped and not even being open about it, and then you go home and you didn't converse about it at all. It's like a secret, and it's just all compartmentalized internally, and the only thing you have to bounce off is each other, and it can feel shitty, honestly. Whereas when we started opening ourselves up and talking about and saying what we're actually dealing with right now, what those challenges are, the conversation would twist. And it wouldn't be so much about like feeling that pressure. Oh man, they're bringing it up again. No, like what? Why? Oh, my insensitive aunt is saying something. Like, it became more about like, oh, you know what? I know somebody that dealt with something like that. And you hear life stories.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's like, even if it's not going to lead to anywhere, just hearing the life stories and hearing that, empathizing with somebody and just hearing different journeys
Yeah,
feels much better than closing yourself off and not telling anybody, you know?
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
100%.
so that's where the tide started to shift a bit, where, you know, for our mental health, we felt better about it. And we started hearing different aspects, different journeys, different ways that people built their families, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or different leads, different doctors, different procedures, or just hearing like some of them would be like beautiful success stories. Like, you know, they tried for 10 years and it was an accident all of a sudden, or they adopted and then who would you believe it, 6 months later she was pregnant. It's like, wow, okay, like
Yeah,
anything can happen.
yeah,
Anything. But opening yourself up is much better than closing yourself off, you know?
yeah.
And there was another story I wrote. It was around Halloween. And after so many years of like going through this journey, it was another Halloween, and there's a lot of children in our neighborhood, so the doors ringing constantly, and you know, sort of beating ourselves up with like, you know, dang, this sucks. We're still here. You know, I'm seeing these
Yeah.
kids grow up and knock on the door and everything. But you know what? For me, the writing piece, like I said, it helps me make sense of things, and it's like it's cathartic. It heals my soul, and once I put it on paper, not everything sees the light of day. You know, um, but when it does and it reaches readers that can empathize, or again, like hearing different stories and connecting with other people that are on their own journeys, um, really helped a lot, you know. And now
Yeah.
Halloween, it feels better. Halloween isn't as hard as it was for a few years there. Um, but it all helps. But yes, we're open about it. We're still growing, and um, who knows? Maybe one day, maybe not. I don't know. That's the thing. Life doesn't care what you want, you know.
Yeah.
That was my biggest takeaway through this. But we're still staying positive, you know, and the journey continues. I'll leave it at that. But
Yes.
for those that are going through this, open yourselves up. Trust me, it's going to feel much better than closing yourself off, because man, it's exhausting and it hurts
Mm-hmm.
way worse than just opening yourself up.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure people that know you already knew it, but now there's a different audience that now would be like, okay, maybe I should open up about it. And again, there's no shame, no shame whatsoever. And if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Things
Yeah,
happen in the most unexpected times. That's for sure. Um,
100%.
like,
And as a male, don't be scared to be vulnerable. You
mm-hmm,
know, this isn't just a woman thing. It takes two to tango.
yeah,
Okay. Uh, it could be one, it could be the other, it could be both of you. Who knows? It's not about pointing fingers. It's not about who takes the brunt of this. It's about being honest with yourself and being forward. Because when you close yourself off, like I said, it hurts much worse. Number two, you don't grow. You've
yeah,
boxed yourself in, and there's nowhere to move in that little contained space. So
yeah,
even as a man, listen, talk about it. It's it's not taboo. It's 2026. We can talk about our feelings. It's totally fine. And
yeah.
don't be scared. Don't be shy.
Exactly. Perfect. I feel like we should end this already because that was like so good to end it. But we're not done yet.
There's more.
There's more
I
because
love it.
this mama keeps talking. That's the pure Portuguese in me.
Whoa, mama.
So, from your cultural journey, what has been the most pleasantly surprising thing you have learned? It could be about yourself, it could be about a family member, it could be a Portuguese tradition. You tell me what was the most pleasantly surprising thing that you've learned.
Pleasantly surprising. So, through this journey, I married my wife's Medellins.
Mm-hmm.
And the most pleasantly surprising thing was discovering the similarities between archipelagos, which was
Oh.
heartwarming. So even in the Azores, it's a different world, but even across islands, there's different customs and
Mm-hmm.
traditions, but we're still united, bonded by the Atlantic, but just proximity to each other, and we're united on that front. But Madeira and Azores at such a distance. Not that like we're at odds or anything like that, but there's 100% there's differences, um, heritage wise, culturally, but we're still united on as Portuguese, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the most pleasantly surprising was finding those similarities in Madeira, because I go there quite often now,
Mm-hmm.
and finding my home away from home in Madeira.
Oh,
And
nice.
and it's one of those things like um discovering a culture you didn't know you had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I think about like our immigrant parents, and they came from Azores, 100% to Surian, nothing to do with Canada. But
Mm-hmm.
they came to Canada. They started their they built their empires and built their families here. And now, like many years later, that is a part of who they are. That's an adopted heritage that
Mm-hmm.
they've chosen to be Canadian. They could have been anything they wanted, but they
Yeah.
chose to be Canadian. For me, I equate it to that. It's like you can find home, that sense of belonging anywhere in the world. And for me, it happened to be Madeira. Went there, I felt so at home. The people are warm, and like I said, the similarities across islands. Like, yes, there's differences. Yes, there's different customs, but the island life that embedded in Portuguese heritage, like it's recognizable.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
And between Madeira and Azores versus the continent, not saying there's beef or anything like that, but you do feel more similarities
Mm-hmm.
across the archipelagos than you do with like the homeland, the mothership on the mainland.
Yeah.
And for me, that was like the most pleasantly surprising thing. It's like I didn't realize how much I would love a place that, like, growing up, I didn't even know what Madeira was growing up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now as an adult, yeah, like Madeira, like that's my home away from home,
Oh,
and
that's nice.
it's beautiful. And like I said, heritage is at the mercy of the living, and it's those that choose to adopt it, carry it on, because otherwise, like, yes, you can be Portuguese, that there's no denying that, but if you shy away from that upbringing, those traditions, those colors, the heritage that
Mm-hmm.
raised you, I mean, that's why I say it's at the mercy of the living. It's those that choose to carry it.
Yeah.
And if those that don't have any interest or don't care about it whatsoever, I mean, it's probably where the line ends right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You evolve into something else. But for me, Madeira is very much that place. And like I said, that was my biggest surprise, that I didn't realize how much I would love that place.
Yeah, it's a very nice surprise. I've never been there, so maybe I should put that on my bucket list of
You
places
gotta
to see.
you gotta get out to Madeira, man. It's beautiful. The festivals, the climate, the food, the people, the nightlife, the restaurants. Oh my God, you'll have
Oh, see?
so much. So
Well,
sure.
that would be good. Yeah.
And for me, when I go to Madeira, I usually do the Azores stopover. So I'll stop in San Miguel for a day or two, see my
Mm-hmm.
family, explore there a bit, but then I go to my home away from home. I'll go to Madeira for a while.
And
But
then that's when the party starts.
that's right.
Yeah. That's good. So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to tap into their own Portuguese roots? Like, is there a specific place they should start at? I know you mentioned the conversations at special family gatherings. Any other tips as to how someone could tap into not even Portuguese, just their own heritage, I guess, because it could be applied to anybody who wants to get to know their roots better.
Yeah, totally. You touched on it. Ask questions, speak to your family. Um, for cultures that have diasporic activity in your neighborhood, seek out those events. Just go attend, go see what it's about. Um, you know, delve into the food, watch the customs, the dances, the whatever it is, the entertainment, and that'll open up your perspective around what everything is there. And then if you want to take it up a notch, volunteer, step into it, find a role to get involved, and you will be surprised how much you will grow on that side of the fence. Because there's been volunteer opportunities that I've done very casually, yeah, and more extensively. And every time I volunteered, I've learned something about the culture. I've made a connection with somebody. Maybe I fine tuned a word or two in Portuguese, kind of practiced a bit there, and found a deeper sense of myself and connection. And I've grown as a person every time too. So volunteering, get involved. Listen, grassroots, that's cost nothing. You make such a difference, and you will grow a lot as a person just getting involved.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. Hopefully, some more young people embrace that so that the roots don't uh, die after a certain
Yeah, for sure.
age
And
group.
and the writer in me wants to mention too, whatever path you choose, write things down. Whether it's
Mhm.
as a journal, whether you're just logging notes, or you want to make editorials and make articles about it, write it down because it'll, me being a millennial, I don't know how like Gen Zs do it nowadays. For me, the act of writing something down, it's kind of like embedding it in my head. And that's how I was
Yes,
raised. It's like, remember
yeah,
doing lines growing up?
yes.
You get in
I have
trouble.
I do checklists. Like I need to have a paper and a pen and write down everything I need to do for the
Same,
day.
same.
And
I have
and it's so
checklists,
satisfying to cross it off when you're done.
right?
It's like, oh, so
Oh
good.
my God, I love that. Like on the
Yeah.
weekend, I'll have like a checklist of like, okay, a dozen things I want to do. And then by Sunday night, like you're crossing off like 9, 10 of them. So, wow, look how
Yeah.
productive I was this weekend. Like
Yeah.
we do that for shopping lists. You're gonna forget, so you got to write it down.
Oh yeah.
Sure. So
But
I suggest it. But yes, along the way on your journey, write down whatever thought or aspect. Like for example, meeting with these Portuguese groups or whatever. There was one thing that came up in conversation a couple weeks ago. It's like what are they? The ceramics, the Portuguese ceramics. You have like a cut on gauge on the wall, or
oh my God, yes. And the plates?
the plates. Yeah. So Ashley
I
and I,
love the plates.
we love it. We fell in love with it. We like antiquing, right? So our last trip to Portugal, because some of those things now they're fetching top dollar. Okay,
Oh, okay.
it's crazy. It's like,
It's
well,
hard to find.
it's hard to find, and it's like quite expensive. So we went to Portugal. Like maybe we'll find one for cheap. Maybe they don't know the value that like the immigrants want it for, back home.
Yeah.
So we did find one. We bought it, and then I was telling the story about like finding this ceramic plate. But I didn't have the words for this. I'm just like, it's a ceramic plate. I don't know. It's a crab. Like they do these special. Like
Yeah.
no, it's a bordalu. It's a bordeaux, and
Oh, I didn't even know that.
there's a whole museum for this stuff in Portugal
Oh, wow.
with like life-size ceramics. Like
Oh, wow.
I was like, I never heard of this. Now I have the vocabulary for it, But
Yeah.
I sounded like a schmuck, like trying to explain the plates. Yeah, the ceramic plates. All that to say was that was something I had to write down because that came up in conversation. I didn't have the vernacular to explain it to people. And then a friend of mine was like, no, that's Bordalu Pinheiro. I think I said that right. And there's a whole museum for him, and it's a whole thing. I was like, oh, wow, okay, now I know what to like call that because I was just calling it just the ceramic plates, right? But again, write things down because you'd be surprised how quickly you forget it.
Oh, I'm glad this is being recorded because then I can always go back. But I won't remember that word tomorrow. I can't even say it now. Is there anything else you want to share that maybe we haven't touched upon before I do my favorite part of the show, which is my rapid fire questions?
No, this is great. This is awesome. I write, I have a blog, I have 4 books. But I did want to mention, I want to give a shout out to my friends from Madeira, Jeff de Gouveia and Andre Moniz Vieira. So again, my home away from home, I've built some friendships back in Madeira. And between Jeff and Andre, they're vloggers, they're entrepreneurs, and they have Jeff has a tourism company. So if you ever visit to Madeira, go with Hit the Road Madeira Jeep Tours because they'll take good care of you. But between both of them, they have weekly vlogs on YouTube, and they're working on this documentary project, which I found myself like really inspired by the concept, and I've been helping them put this together. So these guys are on a expedition traveling to areas of the Portuguese diaspora to capture what Portuguese heritage looks like outside of Portugal. So they've done New York, they've done Toronto, they've done Montreal, they will be doing California. All that to say, this is building up to an epic documentary project.
Oh, for sure.
So on the back end, I'm kind of helping them produce and giving them leads and building this. But outside of everything we talked about today, that is something that is really exciting me for what is to come. And I think like Luso diasporic Portuguese Canadians, Portuguese Americans, we are really going to find something to really speak our language, really delineate like what this all is into like a nice, beautiful project. And I think it's really going to be epic. So look out for that in the future as well. But in the interim, follow the Hit the Road Madeira vlog on YouTube because they do some great stuff. They were just here, like I said, 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I think a mutual friend was on it.
Yes, that's coming.
Yes, I know. He told me.
That's coming.
I call him my best friend. He's my best friend. He told me.
And
so that sounds exciting.
I connected them as well because I said, listen, you got to get this person in there as well because he's very influential and he's done a lot. But their most recent vlog was on the Portuguese Cultural Center in Mississauga. So they were really keen on capturing the rancho folklorico. You watch this thing, it's such an epic way of like telling their story. It's so professional, great quality, like so well done. And this is just a glimpse of like what that documentary is going to look like. And it really excites me because like, again, I like to write about these heritage stories and sharing the culture. But what better way to do it than with like an epic documentary that speaks to everybody and has a who's who of the community in the project. So that's
fantastic.
It's going to kick ass. So that's the only thing I wanted to mention aside from my writing.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. So I can't wait to see that. Now, my favorite part of the show is the rapid fire questions. These are just
Should I be nervous? What are you going to throw on me?
No, please don't be nervous. I try to make them themed for each guest, and they're fun. It's just for fun. I like ending things on a fun note. So there's only 5 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, if your life had a theme song every time you walked into a room, what would it be and why?
It would be Batista's theme song from professional wrestling.
I watch wrestling.
Okay.
So I know.
It would be the Batista theme song, I Walk Alone. Because a lot of times I feel like, it's kind of just me, just sort of blazing my own paths and discovering things in my own. But I'm like Batista, man. Walk in a room, just kick ass and take names.
Machine gun everybody down. That's fantastic. Hey, he has like a path of his own now. Like he's really into Hollywood and stuff like that.
Yeah. Totally. Like aside from Evolution, he was always just like a lone wolf, kind of like Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of character, you know. I no affiliation. Just he just kicked ass and just did the things on his own,
that's it.
which I admire. I think it's cool. You watch
Number 2, what's one food you pretend to like but secretly can't stand? Now, if it's a dish your wife makes, do not mention it.
Okay. No, everything my wife cooks is delicious.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I pretend. I think people know I don't like it, but maybe I don't like vocalize it. I'm not big on sweets to begin with.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, not really. But like roche d'os,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like it.
No.
No. And my dad like makes it and he like takes great pride when he makes it. I mean, it's like I'll dabble maybe just to like, you know,
Yeah.
just to appease him, but I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Oh,
or
wow.
or like types of pudding.
Oh,
Like
yes.
like
There's all sorts of
for me, I think it's
fascinating ones.
textures. It's like mushy stuff I don't like. So when someone brings that out to like a potluck or something, it's like, oh, okay, like I don't want to be rude,
Yeah.
but deep down, like I really detest this. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't like it.
Number 3, your favorite Portuguese tradition.
Portuguese tradition. Just the act of like dining, just the act of gathering. And I could equate it to like certain festivals, holidays of the year, Christmas, Easter, whatever. But I think just in general, the act of like convening at a table and having a meal, sharing stories, and having a couple drinks, loosen our tongues up. I mean, it's tried, true, and tested. Like that's you're gonna have a great time, and I know it's very basic, eh? Just eating a meal with everybody.
Oh, yeah, but that's what's missing in the world is that simplicity.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's not complicated. Like,
No.
have a good meal, have a couple drinks, put your phones away, and just let's share stories. Let's have a laugh, and I mean, it's as simple as that, man. That's what life's about. And Ashley and I, like, it's kind of been like a passing of the torch where our house has kind of become the hub now. And we're hosting a lot of these family gatherings that our parents maybe hosted, or aunts and uncles, and they're not doing it as much anymore. So we actually consciously try to like bring people together, bring the siblings together, cousins.
Oh, that's great.
And we do it a couple times a year, you know? And it's not that complicated. We'll come out, bust out some games, have a meal, have a fridge full of beers and wine and everything, and we just have a good time, man. That's it.
Bring out the cards.
Yeah. Oh, Monopoly Deal. We've been obsessed with Monopoly Deal for like
what is that?
It's like Monopoly in like 15 minutes.
Oh, I never heard of that. We have Super Mario or Mario Monopoly.
Okay.
I haven't heard that.
Monopoly Deal. You should seek this out. It's really fun. Like I said, it's like Monopoly will take you like 5-6 hours to play.
Oh my God, yes, forever.
Especially when you're really competitive. Monopoly Deal, you will be done in 10-15 minutes and you will play another half dozen rounds. And it's so addictive. It's so much fun. And there's been nights where we just played for hours and hours and we just one more. Because you want to avenge your loss, you know?
Yeah.
Or you want to like keep winning. And it's really fun. We've been really obsessed.
And it's like an actual board game?
No, it's a card deck.
Oh, it's a card deck.
Yeah, it's cards.
Monopoly Deal.
You find it at Toys R Us for like $8. It's like really cheap.
Deal.
Or Amazon. You could find it on Amazon for like less than $10. But I'm telling you, highly addictive, and it brings everybody together. And it's super fun. And really competitive. Really competitive.
Yes, my whole family is competitive. So this sounds like a fantastic idea. I wrote it down.
Trust me, the strategy behind the game, and you'll see, man. It's so fun. So fun.
Well, that's great. Look at that. See, I'm learning so much. This is so fantastic. Okay. Number 4. What's the most Devin thing you've ever done that your friends still tease you about?
Oh dear.
Now we're getting to know you.
Oh dear. What's the most Devon thing? That's a tough one. Like the most like Devon outside of like writing his thoughts down and being like very reflective. Devon is just a stoner space case. He's a man child. So there's yeah,
For being
simply
honest.
simply. The most Devon thing would be to like just space out watching wrestling or sports or something or a movie and forgetting that the popcorn I heated up is still in the microwave a couple hours later. I can't think of like an exact example, but like that's the essence of Devon outside of work and writing. Just being a spacey man child that kind of just
That forgets popcorn in the microwave.
that forgets objectives or forgets stuff. And that's why I make a note of like, I need to be productive before I tap into that Devon. Because once that Devon emerges, that's the rest of the night.
Okay.
Devon's gone.
But that's good. That's like the fun Devon. Not the serious Devon. We all have different sides, right?
Yeah. So like Monopoly deal, once that Devon comes out, I'll make like a silly move that everyone will just like chirp or like question, like, why'd you do that? It's like, ugh, I didn't think about that one. And yeah, I don't know. Just the spacey.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's great. Okay, and number 5, if you had to give your younger self a 2-word pep talk, what would it be?
Um, it would be don't overthink. My advice to my younger self would be don't stress on the little details. Stop being so stop being so prescriptive. And I would say to myself, I know you like to have all your ducks in a row. I know you like to see A, B, C, D all lead to one another. But hey, sometimes life takes you from A to F in an instant. So don't overthink everything. Just ride the wave and just take it easy. Don't sweat it. That would be my best advice. Don't overthink. Because like I said, you boxing yourself in, not opening yourself up with others or in the art of writing. Those thoughts stay deep, contained in and it's compartmentalized in your mind, and it has nowhere to go. You have nowhere to vent,
Yeah.
And when things are so closed off from everything else around you, you are filling in the gaps now of what can lead to what does this mean without getting context from other people or even understanding your own feelings of like why you're thinking certain things. So don't overthink it and just be open, and sometimes life just will surprise you in the most beautiful ways, and one thing leads to another, but don't resist, be open.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. Look at that. You passed. Yay.
Yeah.
So thank
Those
you
weren't so bad. You
No.
got me like scared. I was like rapid fire. I was like, oh my God, what's she gonna ask us? No, that was great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Devin, for your time and for sharing your beautiful storytelling. I really, really appreciate it. Maybe we'll do a part 2 later down the road. And maybe I'll go to one of your events. So just make sure I know, because sometimes I don't see everything on social media.
Yeah, for sure. And whatever you're involved with too. It was great running into you at the Pork Chops and Comedy last year.
Oh my God, yes. And I felt so bad not being able to sit with you.
No,
I was just like everywhere. And it wasn't my event. And I was like everywhere. I was like, oh my God.
No, don't sweat it. You were busy, and I admire, again, you getting involved with something, finding inspiration in something, and supporting something that brought, man, it brought out like 200 people, if not more, to that event. And I admire Steve and everything he's done. I told him straight up, listen, you bringing people together like this, number one, it's a huge accomplishment, and drawing this many people out is not easy. It's not hard to get people to commit an evening on the weekend to like go to your event. And I know, you know, like we're doing like literature, like all these other things, and it's hard to draw the people out. But Steve did it with ease. He did a couple nights, and I said, "Good on you, man. That was really cool. I love that." And I will be there next time. So whatever you're involved in as well, listen, let me know, and I will do my best to be there because I love it. I love it all.
Yeah. So thank you very much. This is Melanie, and this is Devin. Until next time. Thanks for listening. Until next time, this is Mama Braga wishing you courage to tell your story and joy in every chapter.